And then he tells me, okay, say my name 3 times. Now, there's a significant reason behind it why he asked me that. Growing up, I was always told the name Jesus is forbidden. Saying the name Jesus is a sin. It's something that was embedded in me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of season 4. On behalf of Disciple City, I'm Todd Carlton, and this is the Toddcast. Friends, if you're new to the show, Disciple City exists to equip Christians with simple tools on how to share the gospel and become disciple-making disciples. This year, we have just a tiny endeavor planned of wanting to see 100,000 Canadians hear the gospel in 2025. We are partnering with hundreds of churches and organizations across the country to see Jesus made known in Canada. For more information on this and how you can be involved, check out our socials or hit up our website at disciplecity.ca and look for the 100K Harvest. Tracking along with this will be our friends at the United Hive. This is an app where people can post their encounters and testimonies that they are seeing every day. The United Hive app is being used all over the world, and it's a great encouragement to help you continue to pray for people and share the gospel. Download the United Hive app today. As always, friends, follow the podcast along on Instagram at the Toddcast_DAC, and don't forget to subscribe to the show wherever you're listening. My guest today is originally from Bangladesh. He moved here 12 years ago and is living in Regina, Saskatchewan. He's working in the business world but has a huge heart for music. He's released singles since 2020 with an EP entitled Feeling of You in 2024, and we're awaiting the release of his latest EP titled Deceit and Desecrate, which drops this month, January 2025. Please welcome recording artist Zayd Mason.
Hello.
Hey, my bro.
Oh, thanks for having me, brother. This is exciting. I'm pumped. Let's do this.
Pumped to have you, man. Great. Thank you for coming on the show today and sharing your story and your music. I see we have Akin Studios here with guitars in the background.
Yeah.
Stuff. Awesome. You got a couple more than me, bro.
It's too many. Let's put it that way. The guitars are too many. It's like I have a problem. I have a problem with guitar. So my problem is that when I write new songs, I buy a new guitar. And I'm not kidding. I don't know why people can bash me for this, but seriously, I find the moment I touch a new guitar, new ideas just pops out. Or I touch let's say a new stomp box or a new guitar program I found, new ideas just flow through. Like this guitar here, this is like a custom made. One of my friend actually made it himself.
Nice.
And he sent me, he's like, hey, do you want to test it out? I'm not sure how it's gonna sound and everything. So I'm like, sure. So I brought it home and I already wrote like 3 songs out of it. So I'm like, that's my problem. That's how the guitar collection happens, and it's not stopping anytime soon. Trust me.
No, you know what? If you play guitar, I think all of us who play guitar have that kind of problem, right? You have to stay out of the guitar shop, the Long and McQuaid's, all of that.
Oh yeah, and guitar picks. And my guitar picks are everywhere. In the washing machine and everywhere. Funny story about that. A few months ago, there was a show I was playing, and I forgot my guitar picks. And for some reason, I told one of my friends, I'm like, hey, I actually might have a guitar pick in my car. Let me take a look. I opened the driver's door. There you go, on the ground, on the floor. It's sitting there. I'm like, there you go, guitar pick. Let's play.
Always the way.
Yeah.
Fortunately for me, the next guitar that I want is far too expensive and more than I can afford, so I'm pretty safe when I go into the stores right now.
Yeah. No, I can't stop, man. Anything that are you like a shopper like me, like who goes into a guitar store, sees something and they just get it instead of testing it? Like, do you do that?
I've never tested a guitar. If I've wanted it, I just got it. Both of these guitars here, I got them.
Oh yeah, same here, man. I just walk in Yeah.
I do have a few more. There's not enough hooks on the wall. Fender Strat and a couple acoustics, but
no, I love this guitar on the back. That's the ESP, right? The first one, the black one.
This one, it's a Gibson Explorer.
Oh, okay.
Right,
that's beauty.
That's my history growing up. All Phil Collen, Def Leppard played that. Scorpions, just James Hetfield, even Foo Fighters, just all the bands. But anyways, going down the guitar rabbit hole, that's not what this show is about. Sorry, friends. If you're not guitar players, sorry. We digress. We'll get on with it. Dude,
this is what happened when two guitarists talks.
Right, totally. We should have done this in the green room before we got on.
Yeah.
But bro, so just right away, Bangladesh. You grew up in Bangladesh. Can you tell us a little bit about growing up there and then of all places, what brought you from there to Saskatchewan? I mean, I love Saskatchewan, but I mean, you know, from Bangladesh to one of the coldest parts of Canada.
Yeah. Born and raised in Bangladesh. My family is there. The biggest thing for me growing up, I struggled to fit in there a lot. Like, I always found myself that I don't belong here. Like, even when I was, let's say, in kindergarten, or like even in like early in the school, like I would feel very outcast. And outcast not from a perspective that I was introvert. Like, I am very extrovert. Like, I'm high energy, but my mind and everything never connected. But my mom, actually, like, you will hear in the story, like any story I say, I will tell you here today, you will hear I bring up my mom a lot, because like she did play like a huge role in my life, how I grew up and everything. But my mom wanted me to understand how other religion and culture works. So she actually used to take me to different churches, different temples, like Buddhist temple, Hindu temple, like everywhere. Like, she would take me there. Her perception was that she wanted to show me how other religion practice or other culture does things. And then she also took me to different countries. Like, I have traveled so much when I was like in the school, until my high school, until I came here. Actually, I traveled a lot because of my mom. And she wanted me to know that how other people do things. We cannot just see everybody through the same lens. We have to see them through other person's lens. So growing up, again, in there, I didn't feel too comfortable. I always felt like home whenever I went to a different country, and I felt like something is connecting. So I always knew that I want to go somewhere else. And when the time came right after my high school, my mom asked me, like, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay here? Like, I don't think you will survive. And the reason my mom said that, because again, I don't fit in to the cultural norm. If you want me to go into more in details what that cultural norm is, I can, but I'm just kind of like summarizing it. Like, I don't fit into the cultural norm. So my mom said that look into other countries. So I actually did look into other countries. One of them was UK, US, Canada was there, not Saskatchewan, not Regina. It was like UFT, like a UFC, like those kind of stuff. Like, I even looked into University of Cairo in Egypt, because I went to Egypt so many times. I loved that place. And I remember the last year of my high school, when I saw University of Cairo, I was like, yeah, I want to study here. But my mom wasn't for it. She's like, are you crazy? Like, you want to study in Egypt? Like, that's crazy. But I got like accepted in multiple university in Canada here. When I looked into the cost and everything, I looked at like the housing cost and, you know, food and everything, and Saskatchewan made more sense to me. And I saw Regina and I was like, oh, you know what? It's capital city. It's going to be big. It's going to be happening. I didn't even look into much. So I decided to fly in, and I flew by myself. So my journey was, I just got on a plane. I just came here. I didn't even knew where I was going to stay or anything like that. I remember the moment the flight left until Toronto, I was happy. The moment the flight left and we were over Saskatchewan and getting closer to Regina, the guy, the pilot is like, "Ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna be landing in Regina in 10 minutes." And I was like, "Oh, cool. Let's see where the city is." And I look out, it's like flat land. It's like nothing makes sense. And I just got depressed. The guy beside me was sitting. I was like, "Hey, is this Regina? Like, this is Regina, Saskatchewan, right?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, "Is it your first time?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh boy, you're up for surprises."
Must have been a local.
Yeah, it was a local guy, and he was like, I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I landed. I remember the day I landed, it was minus 45, and it was disaster. And I remember, like, when I got out of the airport, oh man, just when the cold air hit me, I'm like, can I just turn around and leave? So yeah, that's kind of like a little bit of a summary of how I got here. Yeah.
Cool. So dude, what religion were you? You said your mom wanted to expose you or have you understand other religions and stuff. So what was your base religion at the time?
Yeah, so my family is Muslim. And my mom doesn't practice the same way. She's a bit different.
Okay, I was going to say, because most of the times, it's if that's your religion, that's the way, right? So that just really struck me that she wanted you to experience other ones.
Yeah, like the thing was, so like how in Muslim culture, like in the Muslim practice, they tell you 5 times a day you have to pray, you have to do A, B, C, and D, and a bunch of different things. My mom always told me is that, because to give you a little bit more background too, like I strayed away from that religion even when I was there, because a lot of the questions that I was asking I would never get answered, like ever. Like if I ask, like, hey, in whole Quran, it talks about God destroying everything, and it talks about, stoning people. It talks about, demoralizing women and all this kind of things, like different. There's so many stuffs in there that I didn't understand. And anytime I ask a question, the answer that I would get, even from a priest from a mosque or something like that, would say, "Don't ask that kind of question. You're going to go to hell." And I'm like, how does that even make sense? And I'm like to me, the way I see God, even before coming to Christ, I always saw God that God loves me. That if God loves me, why he's going to be smiting me every time? And why do I have to think of going to hell all the time? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, God is that cruel that I would lie once and then I'm going to be in hell? Then what is the point of having God or believing in God at that point? Yeah. Right.
So I don't really know much about Bangladesh. So when you say you didn't fit in culturally, and not to go too crazy long or whatever, but does that mean culturally, or you mean religiously? Like what's the climate like in Bangladesh? What did you mean by that a little more descriptively?
It actually both. It both, like from religion perspective and also from the culture perspective. So culture perspective, like, they don't see women as a person. They treat women as a tool. Things has changed now a lot, but growing up, that's something that I have seen. And my mom is a prime example. I have seen my mom struggling. She is a working woman. She was one of, in our family, she was the only woman who's working, and she got criticized and demoralized and a lot of different things. That's number one. And the other thing is too, from the religion perspective, it's very extreme. I know that a lot of people, if they're listening and if they're from Bangladesh or something, they're gonna disagree with me. But the reality is that I have seen both sides of the world, and I found Bangladesh being more extreme from religion perspective. And everything that happens, they throw it into religion. It's like, how does that even make sense? And from religion perspective too, I say, like, when I ask question, my question was never answered. Like, how does it make sense? Tell me that a man dies, goes to heaven, and that man will have 100 like a lady angel as their wives. It's like, how does it even make sense? Why a man is allowed to marry 4 times when a woman is not allowed to marry at all? Like, if they get divorced or something, they're totally thrown out of the community, society. Like my mom, I grew up in an abusive family. My mom sticked with my dad only because that's the society.
Right.
The culture and then the religion doesn't allow her to leave or choose a better life. And she suffered. She suffered through her entire life, and she's still with him, but her life could have been way better. Right. So
yeah. How was she able to take you traveling and encourage exposure to other cultures and religions with your dad? Like, was your dad really oppressive to her, or like how was that allowed to be happen? Was he aware of it, or was he supportive of that as well? Or
he didn't do anything. Like, my mom did a lot of things like behind his back, because my mom's goal was to make sure that I am growing up to be a better person, better than what she is or he is, and better than anybody in my family, or even from a cultural and religion perspective, better than anybody, so that I can have a better life moving forward. And I think my mom, even though the generational curse is not much practice back there, but I think my mom understood that, and she wanted to break that, make sure that I don't carry on to the next generation.
Right. Brothers and sisters?
No, just myself.
Just yourself?
The only kid.
Me too, bro.
Look at that.
Okay, so Saskatchewan. That must have been. So it sounds like you were really close with your mom. So even though you had an intrigue to go somewhere else, it must have been difficult to leave your mom.
Yeah, it was a difficult choice, but me and my mom, we both understood what is this journey that I'm going in. She knew that I'm going in a different culture, in a different place, all by myself, and she doesn't have any say on me anymore. So it was a huge decision.
Right.
Sure.
So you came out to Regina, obviously, to go to university. You said you applied to a bunch of schools, so you got accepted in Regina at university. And so how did you climatize to minus 45? And how was that first? I can't even imagine what that would be like, but how was the first sort of little while of coming to a foreign country, super cold, totally different culture, and stuff like that? How was that for you?
Yeah, so I kind of got the sense of cold. Like, I've been to Europe, I have been to like that part of the world. So again, Europe's cold is not as cold as here, but I kind of had a bit of that, like, my body kind of know how cold feels like. So when I came here, first shot, when that wind hit me, it was too much, but I think it took me like maybe 6 months, to be honest, to kind of get used to it. I think the other reason too is that I lived in a country that is so humid and hot for my entire life, and finally I feel like I'm in a country where I can actually be like, feel the cold and be like chill and don't sweat and change your t-shirt every 5 minutes kind of thing, right? So I got set up very fast.
Oh, that's good. So okay, so then what led you, because at this point you've come here, you're not a Christian. You're, I guess, would it be safe to say you were a non-practicing Muslim at the time?
Oh yeah, I am far beyond. So to give you an idea too, it's like, obviously being in Bangladesh, like, I did left the religion. I didn't practice. I didn't do anything. I was totally like, to be honest, I would mock God. I would mock any religion. I lost that. Like, I wouldn't say I was atheist. Like, atheist doesn't really believe that there's an entity. I believe that there is an entity. I believe that there is somebody who created all of us, who loves us. I always believe that. But that's not a religion. It's God. And there's somebody up there. It's not Islam, it's not Christian, it's not Hindu, it's not this and that. Like, I kind of like pushed away. I used to even make a joke that, oh, all the books that every religion follow, these are like old books made by an old guy, and we're still following. Like, I used to joke about it. I eat my word now after coming to Christ.
So then when you came here, you were just seeking a new life, freedom, school. Yeah. So you weren't even actively searching for the truth in what you believed in it of God. You were just living your life, and right?
Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, because I gave up like hope in life. Like the way I saw life back then, I saw my life that I wake up, I go to bed, and one day I'm going to die, and that's it, the end of the story. And that led me into a very dark place. Like as I said, like I grew up in a abusive family, so I had depression in a very early age. Depression, anxiety, like it destroyed me. I didn't have confidence for years, and one of the things that was also creeped into me was I was very suicidal. And I got into alcohol and drugs at a very early age. I got exposed to it.
In Bangladesh?
And yeah. Like I got access to it very early age, and that destroyed me. I have tried to take my life multiple times, not once or twice, multiple times. And you know what? God was there. He was there, and he was protecting me, because the things that I've tried, I'm pretty sure if it were my time, I would have been gone by now. But God held my hand, and he was there to protect me. Even after coming to Canada, I totally still was living the same lifestyle, drinking, like until I pass out, or, like all this kind of stuff. But the biggest thing for me, my life changed when I met my wife. That time, that actually changed.
So did you meet? So how? Okay, I'm just trying to frame how this correlates with you getting into music and stuff. Did you meet her in school or after school when you started? Where you met her in school?
Yeah, I met her at school. She's a Saskatchewan girl. We met the year after I came here, and we became best friends. And still, when we became best friends, I was still into all this dark, in my dark world that I was in. And she really tried for years. She was patient with me. Like when we came to, like when we started our relationship, she tried. I'm talking about from 2013 until 2023. This girl tried to change me. She impacted my life, and I always now say that God has brought her in my life, because without her, I would have ended a long time ago. And she was there holding my hand, being that vessel and God was working through her to me. And now I'm here.
She's a Christian?
She's a Christian, yes.
When did you get married?
We got married in 2019.
2019. Okay.
Yeah.
So 2019, and when did you start getting serious about music? Your first release and your first stuff was in 2020, but when did music start? It must have been big for you all your life. You don't just, right?
Yeah, so music is a huge part of my family back in Bangladesh. Like in my family, I have, like, I shouldn't say it, I have everybody actually. Everybody in my family is a singer, songwriter, instrument player. Like, and when I say that, it's not just like for hobby. Some of them does it for a living. Like one of my uncle was the director of the national radio. Two of my cousins plays for one of the biggest rock artists of the country. Like they're the lead guitarist, and like they're well known. Like these are the people that I'm competing with. And that music runs in my family so much that I got into music, I believe, when I was 3rd or 4th grade. And I took it seriously kind of closer to 7th, 8th grade, and I started playing lead guitar for different bands. Even before coming to Canada, I had a band. We were doing stuff. But then after coming to Canada, I joined few bands in Canada here. But it was 2015 when I actually quit. Because I was kind of getting tired of, how band gets together and break up. And I'm a songwriter. I write all of my songs. So I'm writing songs for all these bands, and none of the songs goes anywhere. So I got so frustrated and stressed, and I'm like, what is the meaning of doing this even? So I actually quit in 2015, and that's when my wife, she was like, hey, so why are you stopping? I'm like, well, I don't like it. I don't want to work with the band. She's like, why don't you start playing? Why don't you start singing? And I'm like, well, I don't sing. I have never sung in my life. And my confidence level of singing is 0 because growing up, every time when I was singing, people would just tell me I suck. Straight up. And I was like, okay. And now I kind of look back. Obviously, they didn't understand the style that I was actually doing. I was doing hardcore metal, like this kind of thing that I do now, and they didn't understand that. But everybody said I'm not good enough with singing, and all my life I have heard this word "I'm not good enough" a lot. So my confidence level was just down to 0. So I didn't want her to sing. By 2015, she was like, "Why don't you give it a shot? Write something for yourself. Take some lesson." So I actually ended up taking a lesson at Long and McQuaid for a few months.
For guitar or for singing?
For singing. For singing. Yeah, for singing. For guitar, I actually taught myself. I never took a lesson. So all my life, it's just myself.
Me too, bro.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And for singing, I took lessons for a few months to understand the basic of how this instrument works. And right after that, I taught myself everything else that I do, like from screaming to high notes to everything that I do now. It's just self-taught by myself. But yeah, 2015, I kind of seriously taken that, okay, maybe I can do it, but my confidence level was still 0, but I still wrote a song, and that was my first song called Father. And that song I recorded in 2016. However, I didn't release it until 2020. Because, again, my confidence was 0. But then I met a guy, a well-known guy. His name is Mark Tremonti.
This is Father right here.
Exactly. Yes.
And you met Mark Tremonti.
Yes.
Bro, I'm so jealous. If you're not familiar, friends, that's the lead guitarist for Creed.
Yes. Can you take me higher? Yeah, I met him on 2017, and I took a guitar clinic. And at the guitar clinic, after everything is done, I kind of got like, okay, my confidence up. Let's see if I can, the guy that I love so much, I can show him this song. So I did. I ended up showing him. And he looked at me, he's like, this is good. Like, have you released it? I'm like, no, because I don't feel confidence. And then he goes like, why are you thinking so much? Why don't you let the world decide? You don't have to figure everything out. Let the world decide. You are holding something back from the world, and you're not giving it to them. Why?
Come on.
Right? Like, just give it. And I'm like, I'm looking at him, this kid, I'm like, oh my God. Oh, Mark Tremonti is telling me that. I'm like, okay. All right, I will do that. But still took me another few years before I finally like, okay, I'm going to release it. But that's something really sparked in me that I really want to do this seriously. So I actually started writing more songs, recording more songs. And then 2020 came, I released it on March. And funny thing is, I did not plan it at all to be released on the day when the whole country shut down. The whole world shut down for COVID.
Oh.
Like, I didn't even plan for that. Because it was March of 20th, and I released it. And that's the day everything shut down. And next day I wake up, my song already has like 100,000 streams. And I'm like, huh? I was blown away. But yeah.
Here's a little more. It's good, bro. I love it. it's titled Father. Mm-hmm. I know sometimes people are writing music comes from their heart. Sometimes, sometimes people just write and they're just writing and it's just like, oh, what would work? Is this personal? What's the lyrically?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lyrically, it's very personal. I know that a lot of people, when it first came out, a lot of people thought it's like it's a spiritual song. I'm talking about maybe God or something, but the answer is no. Even if you watch the music video, it actually shows the father figure, the person, and when I wrote this song, it's actually a conversation with my younger version, like my very younger version. Because the very first line is, "Wish I knew it was my mistake to be born to be in this mess," right? And then saying, "Wish I knew it was my fault, Father. Why don't you show me how I'm blamed?" So it's like kind of like asking. It's like, okay, I'm a kid. I came to this world, has no understanding, and here you are abusing me, and I'm questioning, am I supposed to be born this way? So that's the conversation. It's a conversation.
Conversation that you're having.
Yeah. And also processing through my trauma, I guess you can tell.
Do you think?
And when I wrote this song, yeah.
Go ahead.
Too good. Now I was gonna say like when I wrote this song, I was in a very bad place, struggling.
And you wrote that song here in Canada.
Yeah.
Okay, so just looking through your library of music, I just wonder if, even maybe unknowingly to you, if there's a story that is sort of coming out as you're writing all this songs, because I think this was 2020 as well. Runaway, is that correct?
No, Runaway is more this year. It's
2024.
So.
That's right. Sorry, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there any correlation to you leaving your home country with this when you were writing this, or is there anything like that, or is it something different?
Yeah, no, definitely. So 2024, everything changed. When I wrote, so Runaway is actually part of the EP that's coming out January 30th. So all the songs that is on with the Feeling of You came out, it will be with the Deceit and Desecrate. So it's kind of like a full story. So what I did this year, last year, I slowly kind of revealed each story, like what it is.
Right.
It will make more sense when it all comes together on the Deceit and Desecrate EP. It will make more sense one after another what this story is actually about. When I wrote this EP, the goal that I went for was, we all live in dark, and we know in our heart, in our soul, that there is a way out. When I wrote this, I wasn't even Christian yet. And my mindset was that that I am sick and tired of being depressed. I'm sick and tired of waking up every morning and thinking about how I'm going to end my life tomorrow or today. I'm sick and tired of that. There should be an end to this. There should be a different life that I supposed to live, and I should have purpose in this life. And all these songs, like starting from Castle of Blood to Runaway to Feeling of You, Without You, all these songs that building up to this big EP in January 30th. When I look back to the lyrics now, I truly see God's work in it. Like how he was like talking to me, and how he wanted me to speak the truth, that how I am feeling to come to the light. And he wanted me to put that in a song so that those who listen, they can have a hope. They know what it is. Like when I'm saying even in Runaway, I'm caught between two worlds, I'm torn apart, this love consumes me, yet I hide my heart. To me, when I wrote it, I was thinking, okay, yeah, I want to, like, I have an amazing wife who loves me, who wants to live a long life with me, right? And here I am on the other side who wants to end my life. It's like, how does that even make sense? Like I'm torn between this world. I want her love and hurt is there, but I'm not accepting it. But now I look back, it's actually talking about more like me not understanding the love of Jesus. That God is there. God is telling me, hey, you have been walking in the dark, but hey, here's the light. You're torn between, but you need to pick side now. You have to come to the light that where you belong. Enough with the darkness. You have to come to light. Now I'm pulling you. So that's where. So this whole EP basically talks about that. It's my torn between light and the dark again and again. Yeah.
So one more song here, and then I have a question. Well, sort of the ultimate question. But this is 2023. A couple singles here. Looks like you. I don't know if this was a band or you just got some people to record with
feature. Yeah, it was a feature, kind of collab.
Okay, and you wrote this?
Yeah.
So life, because you were just talking about life. Was this something written, just same thing, just processing what this life is all about?
Yeah. Life, nothing left behind. I'm left to die. I'm going under. Like, I reached that point in my life that I just cannot carry on the way I'm carrying on. There must be an answer. Must be an answer to all my suffering. Must be an answer to all the pain that I felt. There must be a way out. There must be something that I'm missing that hasn't been revealed to me yet. And when I wrote this song, I saw myself. I saw myself that I'm alone. I never felt that. Even I have a wife. I never felt that. Maybe she I'm not good enough for her. One that she will leave, even though she loves me the most. But I always had doubt. I always even doubted my mom's love. I doubted my friends' love. I pushed people away. There are friends in my life who meant so much, but I walked away from them. I walked away, and because of this, because I always thought I'm alone. I'm here to defend myself, because growing up, I had to learn at really early age how to defend myself because of the situation that I was born in. And so I never let anybody to come close. Even though I love my wife, I was pushing her away because I'm like, I used to ask her a question that, what would you do if I leave tomorrow? Like, I think you should find somebody else. Like, I have said that not once or twice.
That's a terrible question.
I know. I have said that multiple times to her. And I even asked her, like, why did you stay with me? Like, you have seen how bad I was, like what I've done. Like, why are you with me still? And I know that those questions were bad, and she felt it. And she went through a journey with me on that. But biggest thing is that she held on.
Yeah. She had the hope, hey?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's God's miracle, man, right there.
So, dude, we were talking before the recording. So, dude, what was the moment that Jesus became real to you? How did this unfold? Because you talked earlier about how you knew there was a God. You knew there was an entity of creation that loved you, but it wasn't about Christianity or Islam. So what happened?
Yeah. So me and my wife kind of had a bit of a spiritual struggle. Like, when I say spiritual struggle, it's actually basically me. She kind of experienced it because of me. Like, even growing up, when I walked away from, like, not practicing anything, I believed in the dark. I have practiced dark stuff. Like, everything that you can say, I have practiced, and I have given into, like, before coming to Jesus, I felt like I have signed my soul off to the enemy. And when it was 20, okay, I'll give you a little bit more background. So, do you want me to go really in depth on this? I can kind of like give you.
Yeah, well, just like what was the moment? Because right now you've just painted this picture, like, or at least to me, bro, of in the beginning, growing up, you have this mother that secretly wants you to, like, secretly, when I say from your dad, right, wants to show you something different than what you're born into, almost as if she knew the truth, and guiding you down there, takes you to Regina. You meet your wife, who's a Christian. You start writing this music, and a lot of times this type of music, dude, I grew up, I don't know about you, maybe you did too, but I grew up with all this music. Darkness, sadly, makes great metal, right? And a lot of these, sadly, but if you look at the biggest rock and metal songs, a lot of them come from darkness and, you know, not great places, and most of those people don't come out on the right side.
No,
as many who have hugely successful and passed away took their lives, right? So so I, like, well, I don't know, bro, whatever the spirit's leading you to as far as depth goes, but I'm just, like, so curious as to what happened. So basically, our relationship, the way it worked in the past, I always told her that she's open to practice her religion. She's open to go to church, do whatever she needs to do. I will support her 110%. But I also asked her, do not ask me to come tag along. Like, I will take you there. You can practice whatever you want. Never pull me in. But she did try a few times to take me to different churches, and in a small town. Like, we actually were living in a small town before, because we moved a few times. And when I went to the small town churches, I never felt like I had a bad experience there. I didn't felt like anything. And because of my ties from a spiritual perspective with the dark world, I've always felt uncomfortable being in the church. And in 2023, closer to like end of 2023, October, November-ish, my mother-in-law, so we just moved to Regina. We got this place. We just settled in, and my mother-in-law asking her that, hey, like, how come you're not going to the church? It's just very close by where you're living. And she's like, oh, where is that? So, like, we found out about it, and she's like, oh, I want to go there. So I'm like, okay, I'll take you there, whatever. I don't care. I drove her to the church, and she's like, do you want to come in? And I'm like, sure. I walked in. For some reason I walked in. I don't know why. I walked in. The moment I walked through the door, dude, I felt welcoming. I felt like home. Yes.
Right? That, you know, that song from Linkin Park, that's Somewhere I Belong, that song?
Yeah.
That was my anthem of my life, that Somewhere I Belong. That day, I felt I belong somewhere. And it was a very weird feeling. I've never felt that. Right? Amen. I felt like love. And everybody's welcoming, everybody coming over. Hey, how's it going? I'm like, you don't even know me, dude. Why are you saying hi to me? Like, what is going on? So anyways, I'm like, she's like, yeah, do you want to stay for the service? I'm like, interesting. I will. Sure. I stayed there. I listened. And I'm like, oh, this person talks really good. Whatever. Walk out. For some reason, the second Sunday, I woke up. So our church is at 9:15 in the morning. And I woke up, I believe, at 6 o'clock. And I was showering and getting ready because I wanted to take her to the church. And she looked at me. She's like, why are you so excited? I'm like, I don't know. I just want to take you to the church. Like, it was fun. Like, I'll take you. And I'm like, okay. So she was shocked that I am telling her to let's go. So I went second time, good. A few times I went, and I kind of understood what this place is about. I had conversations with people about my journey, and everybody like when I say people, like they're like, the pastors of the church, or like, their family, even like my life group leaders. Like when I met them for the first time, I told them, and they were very kind and nice to me. And I still felt that love, and I wanted to reject it. Like I wanted to, like, I don't want this. What is this? This is love. Like, what is this? But for some reason, my soul and my heart wants it in. That was after a few service later, that one day during the worship. And here's the thing, every worship that I was listening, I was going and watching, I was hearing, oh, what kind of note they're playing wrong, or like, what is the sound dynamic is. My musician mind is going, I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just like there to support my wife and enjoy the good music. That's all I cared. But few service later, in one worship, for some reason, I just bowed my head out of nowhere. I just bowed my head. I closed my eyes, and I felt this presence. I heard 3 loud knocks.
Come on.
And right away, I can feel my body that is in this world, that's standing there in the church right now, listening to worship. But then I feel that I'm in a different realm now, and I see this door, and I can see the light coming through this crack of the door, and I heard the knock again, and it opens, and this time it opens up, and this bright light is shining, and it asked me, can I come in? Without even a second, without even a doubting, I say, yes, come in, please. Comes in, and I see myself almost like bawling, and I fell down on my knee. And with the vision that I'm seeing, I'm on my knee, and I'm like, who are you? And then he goes, I am Jesus.
Come on.
And I'm like, are you God? He goes, yes, I'm here to save you. Do you, Zayd, accept me as your Lord and Savior? And he'd ask me that. And I say, yes, I do. And then he tells me, okay, say my name 3 times. Now, there's a significant reason behind it why he asked me that. Growing up, I was always told the name Jesus is forbidden. Saying the name Jesus is a sin. It's something that was embedded in me through the Islamic practice. And every time I was hearing the name Jesus in my head, I used to shut my ear. I wouldn't listen to it. And in that vision, when Jesus says, say the name 3 times, I said it. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And I felt this peace and calmness just hit me like the lightning. And all I see, he just hugged me, and he says, now you are saved, my child. Rise. You are saved. And as I rise, I come back to this world, and I'm like, what is this? I'm like confused. So I after the service, at the end of the service, the moment we got into our car, I started crying. I couldn't stop. And my wife is confused. It's like, what is going on with you? Did something happen? Like, are you feeling? Because she's always was, because she has experienced for so many years my depression and anxiety. She has seen it so many times that she was scared that this is something I'm having at one of my episodes again. But she's seeing me smiling, and she's like, what happened? Can you tell me? And I told her, I'm like, this is what happened. And she tells me, do you know this is from Bible? I'm like, no. Like, what are you talking about? She opens up the Bible. She shows me about the knock of the door. I'm like, okay, all right. By then, we were already kind of meeting our life group team. We were going there. I was hanging out mostly before that. But that day, we went to our life group. And I could hear enemy's voice trying to deceive me again, try to tell me that I'm doing it wrong. I can hear enemy's voice loud and clear. And right away I heard, God's voice saying, repeat after me. In the name of Jesus, I rebuke you. Repeat this 3 times with me. And he tells me that. And I says it again. And then he's just gone. And that's how it all started, man. Like I, even thinking of that day when I saw the door, when I heard the knock, I saw him, it still tears me up because like it was an experience that it's very hard to explain how powerful and amazing that was. Like God is great, man.
Bro,
God is great.
How long was your wife praying for you, bro?
2013 till 2023.
Come on, dude. Bro, when you got an hour to kill, you should listen to the episode where Adam interviews me because our stories parallel quite a lot, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating. That's amazing, dude. That is so amazing. You could just see throughout your story God teeing you up for this. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So
He's
good.
He's great, man. He's great.
So good. Bro, well, no, I was going to say not to shift gears, but this isn't really shifting gears. But so there was a story of, can you cue up what we talked about earlier with your new album? Play a little bit from your new record that's coming out in a couple weeks from this episode. January 30th, correct?
Yeah.
January 30th, it's coming out. And just the album cover.
Yeah.
Unknowingly just fits your story and the testimony you just changed. So we're not actually shifting gears, but can you just give us a little sample of the song that you chose and just talk about what you had shared with me before about what this actually means, which was God working through you as you sort of poured all of this stuff out in your music.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm going to share it here really quick. So, can you see my screen now?
We got it. We got it.
Yeah, perfect. So, this is the EP cover. It's called Deceit and Desecrate. And if you can see right away, it's a shackle that is broken. And it's almost like a crime scene. The way this album cover was designed, it's like a crime scene. Like, what happened? The question that, what happened to this person? Like, and the reality is that a lot of people are actually very surprised about my change, my friends, because I have left a lot of my friends, the ones that I used to hang out with. I haven't drank since, what was that? December of 2023. So it's 1 year sober now. So God has done amazing things. I have changed my lifestyle. So this is the proof that God can save you and break that shackle. Like, and all you have to do, you just have to answer to him.
Yeah.
Just answer to him. That's it. So the title track of the EP is called Deceit and Desecrate. And this is the main track. And this track talks about finally realizing that I want light, not darkness, and I'm going to break it out from here. I'm going to break through, and I'm going to find my way, and I'm going to take it back what I have lost. Now, keep that in mind. When I wrote this, I wasn't a Christian, but these are the words that was coming out of me, and this is what God was speaking to me. So I'll play this song here really quick. It's called Deceit and Desecrate. like it's totally talking about, you know, like in the shadows we hide, but there's light.
It's awesome.
Right? Yeah. Like there's a word here that I forgot about, my soul's design. Like it's this part is very, very basically saying I'm breaking through this web. A truth to tell began to show itself. I'm caught up in this web. It's like this web that I was caught up in, I had to break through. This is my declaration that I am no longer held back. I'm no longer, like, I have realized what I have done and where I was. And this part of the bridge is the breakout moment. It's my story of breaking the chain. You can break the chain too. It's just a matter of you accepting that God is there. God is mighty.
Amen.
He's there to hear. He's there for you always. So yeah, Deceit and Desecrate coming out on January 30th. This is my first big EP that I'm very excited about, and I'm looking forward for people all over the world to listen to it, because I know that it will impact them in a different way, and knowing the story, what it is. And when you listen to each song after that, Deceit and Desecrate, the second song is called Broken Love, and then goes back into Feeling of You, Runaway, it just all falls back into one another and tells you one cohesive story of the entire journey.
Love it, bro. That's awesome. Dude, what about your mom? Did you share with your mom what happened to you in the church?
It is still a secret. It is still a secret for her. She has no idea yet. This is something actually in the works right now, and I've been praying about it for a while, and God already set up a way to talk with her. This year she's actually coming down, and she's going to be staying with us for a while. And I'm like, well, she's going to be seeing me and going to church and doing this and doing that, and she will notice it. And I'm like, I'll let God reveal it to her, because I feel like as I said, like my mom always told me, she was the one always told me that I didn't have to pray 5 times in a mat. I can sit on my bed, bow my head, and pray to God and talk to Him, and keep that in mind. In the Islamic practice, that is not normal. That doesn't happen. My mom's perception was always that you can talk to God anytime you want. So I don't know how much my mom knows about Christianity or how much her exposure was, but that was her belief. And when I see my life now and how I talk to God and I connect with God, it's totally how she was seeing it. So she's halfway there. So I'm letting God do the work. I'm letting God to have impact in her heart. That's it.
That's awesome. Yeah, God does the work, bro. Zayd, thank you so much for sharing your story today.
Yeah, I really appreciate you having me, and hopefully the story that I shared, it will help someone out there who is struggling. And you know, if you struggle, talk to someone. That's the first step. Talk to someone. Don't stay in your head.
Yeah.
This place is a very bad place. Get out of there.
Yeah.
Talk to someone, because the friend that is telling you that, hey, don't do that, he loves you.
Yeah.
Keep it in mind. Don't push them away.
All right. You're jumping on my last question. That's I like to end with a question. So that's
sure.
good. So that was the first part. As someone who's left their home country and come to somewhere foreign by themselves, and I don't know, maybe you've met somebody, but at whatever age, whether it's university age or maybe even somebody older. But if you encounter, if you get an opportunity to meet someone who's come new to the country, And you can tell based on your experiences that they're, you know, maybe experiencing some depression or escaping something and trying to find their way, bro. What would you say to them?
I would say the very first thing you have to acknowledge that you actually broke the first shackle. That is the first thing. You just moved from a different country. You came here. That is the first step you already have taken to make your life better, because you came to a better country, a better community where you have the freedom and opportunity to build yourself, rebuild, not just build, rebuild from the scratch again. So that's number one. And number two, seek help. Because a lot of cultures, a lot of countries doesn't understand the perception of depression and those things. They don't understand that. They totally sidetrack it. But here, we understand. The community understands what depression is. So to speak more and more, seek for help, and the biggest one, remember that God loves you.
Yeah.
The biggest one. God loves you. God wants you in his kingdom. He already done the work for you. Acknowledge that. He already done the work for you. You can say as much as you want that, oh, I'm in depression because God made me do it. No. God doesn't want you to be like that. God actually wants you to be happy, smiling, enjoying your life, enjoying his kingdom, the kingdom that he has built.
Amen.
So, yeah, trust in God. That's the biggest thing.
Awesome. Thanks again, Zayd.
Yeah. No, I really appreciate you having me, Todd. It was fun.
Bless you, bro.
Bless you, brother.
So, friends, once again, that new EP drops on January 30th. It'll be on Spotify and everywhere you get music. We'll leave some links in the description. You can follow Zayd along, too, on Instagram. That link will be in the description as well. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of this season and just the truth that comes out, friends. He knocks and asks the question, do you accept me as your Lord and Savior? Do you accept him?